Hello Easley, I'm Matthew Littleton. I am your fire chief and I'm here to talk to you about the city's recent resolution for social distancing, washing hands, and wearing a face covering. And we wanted to give you a video to show you some do's and don'ts when wearing a face covering. But remember, the CDC encourages social distance greater than 6 foot if possible, frequently washing your hands. And if you can't do those things and you've got to be in social settings, then wear a face covering. But there's a right way and there's a wrong way to do this. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is what not to do. When you're wearing a face covering, make sure the face covering is completely covering your nose and mouth. You'll see a lot of people where the mask is below their nose, or it's below, not covering your mouth, or it's kind of hanging from one ear. That's a big no-no. Make sure that your face covering, whether it's cloth or it's surgical, is covering your mouth and your nose. Doesn't have to cover your eyes, just your mouth and your nose. Make sure it's properly on. Equally important thing that you want to do is make sure that you wash your hands before you take your mask off. Whether you're using a single-use surgical mask or a multi-use, a washable face covering, wash your hands before you take your mask off. The CDC and a lot of people who are much smarter than I am tell you that you touch surfaces with your hands. And even if you wear gloves, you're still touching those surfaces. Wash your hands before you take your mask off. Once you take your mask off, discard the single-use mask or put it in the washing machine, whatever you're going to do with whichever mask you have. Take it off, dispose of it properly, and then wash your hands again. Washing your hands is very, very, very important. And early on, the CDC said if you just practice washing your hands like you're supposed to, you reduce your chances by 50%. That's a pretty good odd for me. If you don't have soap and water, make sure you're using hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer is not the first choice, but if you don't have soap and warm water, use your hand sanitizer. The other thing you want to make sure you're doing is don't touch your face if you can help it. When you're taking your mask off and on, make sure you're not touching your face if you can help it. And also don't touch the outer portions of your mask. Don't touch the inner portions of your mask. Do the best you can by grabbing the strings, taking the mask off and discarding of it properly. As always, follow the manufacturer's recommendation when you're using any type of mask or face covering. Now, the CDC also says that N95 or other specialized medical masks are not recommended for this application. Remember, we're doing our part to protect others, not protect ourselves. By wearing your face covering, you're making sure that if you are unknowingly carrying the virus, you're not sharing that with other people. Here in Easley, I'm Matthew Littleton. Mask up, Easley.